Hello, I'm happy to have you here excited about the presentation we will get to have today. This is not a lecture, this is not a test, so get relaxed and stay present, please. Today, I'm going to focus on the paper called Design and Verification of an Effective State of Charge Estimator for Thermal Energy Storage. I would like to quickly introduce myself. I am Daniel Alejandro Morales Sandoval. I studied electronics and automation engineering. Then I did a master in aeronautical engineering at the Universidad Autónoma de Nuevo León in Nuevo León, Mexico. I have a background in control system design, and now I'm studying my PhD in energy systems at Cardiff University. Let me talk a little bit about the Cardiff University and the research group. We are ranked second nationally for the impact of our research and are among the top 5 universities in the UK for research excellence. Our research group is a pioneer in the analysis of energy systems. This paper was carried out as a team effort by some colleagues and my supervisor. In this presentation, I will be covering 5 main sections. Before getting into the paper, I would like to give you an overview of the topics involved in this work. First, I'm going to present a background and how this study can help to improve the overall performance of a district heating and cooling system. Then, I will talk about the importance of thermal energy storage in integrated energy systems and specifically in district heating and cooling systems. After that, I will give you some examples of the control systems, what you can achieve with them and how important they are for the adequate control of charging and discharging modes of the thermal energy storage. Also, I will put you in context of what an observer does and how we use it in this paper. Finally, I will explain you the paper in a high-level way. Climate change is a fact. In many countries around the world exist challenges dealing with climate change. Several experts claim the need for serious measures to be taken worldwide to mitigate its effect. To achieve that, the combustion of fossil fuel should be reduced in energy systems. The adoption of low-carbon alternative energy resources is attracting attention as the energy sector makes a transition in the way that energy is generated and consumed. Different energy sectors, including electricity, gas, and heat, require robust strategies to meet ambitious carbon emission reduction targets driven by policy. Heating represents a good example to appreciate the magnitude of the work required to meet net zero targets, as this sector accounts for a substantial amount of global carbon emissions. Particularly, the role of district heating and cooling systems will be critical, as these two energy vectors are central to our lives not only for comfort and daily activities, but also to facilitate productive workplaces and to run a variety of industrial processes. The optimal operation of district heating and cooling systems and the design of efficient strategies to produce heat and cold, store thermal energy, and meet heating and cooling demands, together with an increased integration of low-carbon technologies and local renewable energy sources, are vital to reduce energy consumption and carbon emissions alike. Now, let's talk about thermal energy storage. What is thermal energy storage? It can be shortly described as storing energy as heat or cold in a storage medium to be used later to produce power or using it for heating or cooling purposes. The main use of thermal energy storage is to overcome the imbalance between energy generation and energy use. There is 3 main thermal energy storage types: sensible heat storage, latent heat storage, and thermochemical energy storage. Sensible heat systems are based on the injection or extraction of heat into or from a storage medium to modify its enthalpy. Temperature levels are bounded to prevent a phase change of the medium. This enthalpy difference is called sensible heat. Latent heat or phase change material systems store more heat per unit of mass of the storage medium compared to sensible heat systems. Their application is widespread for cooling systems, where ice liquid water storage is often used. In thermochemical energy storage, through a reversible chemical reaction, a chemical is dissociated into and recombined from its components via endo and exothermic processes, storing and supplying heat. Sensible heat storage is used in this paper. Now let's move on to the control systems. A control system is a system whose primary goal is to maintain one or more variables or parameters of a process at desired levels. The control system attempts to control something about the process so that the control variable either remains constant or else conform as closely as possible to the desired value. In our daily lives, there are numerous objectives that need to be accomplished. For instance, in the domestic domain, we need to regulate the temperature and humidity of homes and buildings for comfortable living. For transportation, we need to control the automobile and airplane to go from one point to another accurately and safely. Practically every aspect of our day-to-day activities is affected by some type of control system. Control systems are found in abundance in all sectors of industry, such as quality control of manufactured products, automatic assembly lines, machine tool control, space technology and weapon systems, computer control, transportation systems, power systems, robotics, nanotechnology, and many others. Control systems are fundamental to maximize the performance and efficiency of charging and discharging processes of thermal energy storage, with suitable mathematical models needed for an effective control system design. Now, we are going to explain the use of an observer in systems, sometimes called an estimator. Controller design relies upon access to the state variables for feedback through adjustable gains. This access can be provided by hardware. For example, gyros can measure position and velocity on a space vehicle. Sometimes it is impractical to use this hardware for reasons of cost, accuracy, or availability. For example, in power flight of space vehicles, inertial measuring units can be used to calculate the acceleration. However, their alignment deteriorates with time. Thus, other means of measuring acceleration may be desirable. In other applications, some of the state variables may not be available at all, or it is too costly to measure them or send them to the controller. If the state variables are not available because of system configuration or cost, it is possible to estimate the states. An observer is used to calculate state variables that are not accessible from the plant. An observer combines different forms of knowledge, facts, and measurements to make inferences about the system state. Typically, an observer combines knowledge of past inputs, available measurements of output, and knowledge of model parameters and thus system dynamics. Now, let's get into the paper. Thermal energy storage is a device of containment that has the capability in storing thermal energy for later use. The main use of a thermal energy storage is to overcome the mismatch between energy generation and energy use. The thermal energy storage provides flexibility and improves the performance of a district heating and cooling system, as it may act as a sink when excessive energy is available during minimum loading, and then operate as a source when additional energy is required during peak loading, involving 3 steps: charge, storage, and discharge. As I mentioned before, control systems are fundamental to maximize the performance and efficiency of charging and discharging processes of the thermal energy storage. Given that the location of temperature sensors is usually alongside the tank's height, the stratification modeling approach is ideal to understand the data captured by each sensor. However, knowledge of the state of charge, rather than the temperature information only, is necessary for the effective energy management of the thermal energy storage. Effective state of charge monitoring will enable operators to understand the short-term capability of the thermal energy storage tank and establish how much longer it will be useful before recharging is required. This paper presents a model-based observer for the accurate calculation of the state of charge of sensible heat-based thermal energy storage tanks. The observer is designed to accurately estimate the temperature at different horizontal layers, leading to an effective state of charge computation, even in the case of sensor failure. The 5-layer stratified 1D model of the water tank shown in this figure is used in this paper. The modeling approach used in this work is based on the law of conservation of energy. Dynamic models of thermal energy storage have been developed using computational fluid dynamics. This way, the thermal behavior of a water tank can be described spatially. 3-dimensional complex models provide a detailed dynamic model. However, it has been shown that 1-dimensional models are sufficient to characterize temperature variations along the height of the tank with enough accuracy. So, a very detailed model is not necessary to describe the thermal behavior of thermal energy storage. For instance, internal velocities and forces over the temperatures of the tank layers are negligible. Besides, the operating temperatures in a district heating system fluctuate between 55 to 95 degrees Celsius, which prevents a phase change in the water. Since the tank is maintained full, mass balance is not necessary. Therefore, only the energy conservation law is required. The convective flow input is separated in 2 variables: a cold stream that is injected to the bottom layer and a hot stream that is injected to the top layer. The operating mode of thermal energy storage in a district heating system helps to simplify the model, as the charging and discharging processes are not carried out simultaneously. Therefore, even when the system has 2 inputs, both processes can be modeled as a single input, single output system for control design purposes. For a thermal energy storage tank with n layers, equation 2 is extended to these equations 3, 4, and 5. It is assumed that the tank is fully charged when the temperature in all layers is 90 degrees Celsius, and conversely, fully discharged when the temperature in all layers is 60 degrees Celsius. Simulations are conducted in 2 different software platforms to provide confidence in the thermal energy storage tank model described by equations 3, 4, and 5. The model is implemented in MATLAB with simulation results compared with those obtained using an existing water-based thermal energy storage tank available in APROS. This figure shows a screenshot of the tank component simulated in APROS. As it can be seen, a temperature sensor for each layer is available. This table shows the dimensions of the tank and the initial temperature conditions. As mentioned before, the tank has been stratified into 5 layers. For simplicity, the tank's performance is assessed under a step variation of mass flow rate input without any controllers being implemented. As it can be observed, there is a good agreement between the results obtained from MATLAB and APROS, which in turn demonstrates the effectiveness of the modeling approach. It can be emphasized that even when linear controllers designed using linearized models may offer a good performance, the high nonlinearity of the thermal energy storage system makes the design of a linear observer for adequate temperature estimation impractical. So what we did was to design a model-based observer which has this form, where A and C are the linear system and output matrices obtained from system linearization at m dot equal to 0. And B is a matrix whose entries depend on the temperature of the layers and on the operating mode of the system. The state of charge calculation adopted in this work makes use of the available temperature measurements. The state of charge operation range is defined using the minimum to maximum possible temperatures of the stored water. For instance, if the minimum temperature is 60 degrees Celsius, this corresponds to a specific enthalpy value of 251.18 kilojoules per kilogram, and the thermal energy storage is fully discharged. Conversely, the thermal energy storage is fully charged at a maximum temperature of 90 degrees Celsius and a specific enthalpy of 377.4 kilojoules per kilogram. A feedback control scheme based on the state of charge, as shown in this figure, is implemented in this paper. This makes use of the nonlinear observer. The reference signal R subscript percent is a value between 0 to 100%, corresponding to the state of charge. Lookup tables are used to convert the reference state of charge to a given specific enthalpy reference and subsequently to a given temperature reference suitable for the thermal energy storage model. The mean value of the temperatures estimated by the observer is used as the feedback signal of the control system. The modeling in the loop simulation is carried out as a co-simulation using two software platforms, with the control scheme and the nonlinear observer being implemented in MATLAB and a high-fidelity water tank representation available in APROS being used as the plant model. The link between the two software platforms is achieved by an open platform communication protocol, widely adopted in automation and process control and available in both MATLAB and APROS. In the paper were considered 3 different system configurations, but for time reasons, only one configuration will be presented here. In this scenario, a fully equipped tank with a temperature sensor per layer is considered, but sensor failure is assessed. During the simulation, the availability of sense signals T2, T3, and T4 is interrupted at different moments into the simulation. This figure shows the control of the system state of charge as a percentage of total charging capacity, specific enthalpy, and the average temperature. Several charging and discharging cycles of the thermal energy storage tank are simulated, with the state of charge being modified in a range between 35 to 85%. An adequate control of the system's state of charge is achieved as a result of the accurate estimation from the observer, despite multiple sensor failure. The top plot shows the temperature measurements from the 5 sensors inside the tank, and the bottom plot measures mass flow rate. As it can be seen, a disruption in the sensor signals for T2, T3, and T4 occurs at 5, 10, and 15 hours into the simulation, respectively. Then, this figure shows a comparison between the estimated temperatures obtained from the model-based observer in MATLAB with respect to the actual temperatures from the thermal energy storage tank in APROS. The estimation error is provided in this figure. The simulation results demonstrate that the presented model-based observer accurately estimates the temperature distribution within a thermal energy storage tank regardless of the availability of temperature sensors for the internal layers alongside the tank's height. As a result, this enables a good estimation of the system state of charge. This, in turn, allows an accurate control of the charging and discharging processes of the tank. The observer is capable of supporting the operation of the control system to achieve a good performance in case of sensor failure. A model-in-the-loop configuration supported by the OPC communication protocol has been used. This has enabled real-time co-simulations between MATLAB and APROS. The model-in-the-loop configuration presented in this work is useful for other applications where verified models of practical components are available, but the possibility to conduct experimental work is not an option. Thank you for your attention. Any doubt, question, or comment, do not hesitate to contact me, please. And I want to say thank you to the Universidad Autónoma Metropolitana for organizing this seminar. And thanks, Dr. Daniel Martinez, for this invitation. I really appreciate it. So thank you very much.